Hello, Namaste, and welcome to another flow brought to you by the gang at Namaste. Linda and Michael are here with me. They're going to peek right into the camera and say hello. Good to be with you. Once again, at a very safe distance. So we're going to do another slow flow today, but we're going to take it a little more to the basic level. There's a lot of videos out there. In fact, there was this talk of people being bored and nothing to do, being at home, and I'm not going to be working, and what am I going to do with myself? Or just trying to navigate their job at home and all of those things. All of a sudden now we have a bunch of different choices, and they're coming at us fast, especially online. And myself included, I am looking for content, and I'm looking for things that are going to keep my mind active and focused on good things, and also being willing to listen to some of the news out there that isn't always easy to hear. But again, lots of different news feeds and lots of different things coming at us. So let's unplug it, right? Let's just unplug it, pick one thing, and if it's this, hi. If it's not and you're somewhere else because you're like, I don't like this girl, she's talking too much, right? You can turn me off and you can go and talk. Go and listen to someone else or whatever. You got my drift, but find what resonates with you and then just be with that. Allow that. So we're going to start in child's pose, and we're going to get a little cocooned within ourselves, connecting with ourselves here. Feeling a little bit more closer to the earth, and in turn, turning in towards ourselves and away from maybe the outer world, this online world, okay? Even though we're online, right, you can turn it inward. Positioning the arms in any way that feels good for you. Maybe forward, maybe along your sides. Letting go of any tension that you might be holding from the tips of your fingers all the way down to the tips of your toes. Noticing thoughts that might be moving in and out. As much as we like to think that we can get still or quiet, if we practice yoga, we know the effort, right, that it takes to become still. And it's also the ease that it takes to become still. That combination is lovely when it happens, right? So let's aim for that. Let's aim for some harmony, some balance of being in the present moment by connecting this breath with movement. So we'll start to move right away, deepening the breath right along as we do. So let's take the arms nice and long out in front of you, breathing in, and then let the exhale draw your arms, walk your hands over to the right, arcing the left side of the body. And then inhaling, making your way back through to center. Get nice and long, take some time to readjust. And then take an exhale. On your exhale, take yourself over to that left side. Arcing through the right side of the body here. And beginning to deepen the breath a little bit more. Filling the belly, the lungs. Exhaling, emptying from the top all the way to the bottom of the breath. Inhale, come on back through center. And then we're going to slide the chest forward, coming down into the belly, bringing the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Hands are going to come out, number 11 here. And just bringing the heels of your hands a little bit, almost like they're sliding, pressing down into the earth towards the hips, and the hips moving towards the heels of the hands. Feel the shoulder blades relax down the back. Take an inhale, maybe pushing through the hands slightly, lift the chest a little bit. And then as you exhale, you're going to round in here. So you're going to draw the navel in towards the spine, chin towards chest. And then inhale, keep a nice tone in the belly as you unroll the spine, opening the heart. And then exhale, navel draws to the belly, to the spine, let the chin tuck in here. Inhale, unroll again. Just kind of bringing the head to come up last, and then exhale, rounding the back, drawing the chin in, maybe even beginning to engage the legs a little bit more. If you're finding some tenderness in your lower back, you might bring your arms a little further out and bring the rib cage down onto the earth. Find that place where you can begin to feel comfortable to take these movements of the spine here and connecting the breath with that movement. Becoming more awakened, depending on the time of day that you're doing this practice, right? Considering what you've come to your mat with this body, with your energy, right down from how you slept to what you've eaten, even the stress body that you might be carrying in from your energy in your mind. Nice, now we're going to lower down the chest to the earth, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to come right up into a table now. We're going to spread the fingers nice and wide. Just give a little sway of the hips from side to side. Now this might be plenty for you to get into the hips. So lean next time right into that left hip. And then inhale, come back through center, and then exhale, lean on over into that right hip. It might come all the way down to the earth. It just depends on your hips, right? And then some of you might even consider here coming off the knees and then doing the same thing side to side. We're engaging the core here, feeling that little bit of heat starting to build up, rocking side to side, and also getting a little bit more into the hips. If you're still on your knees, you might even consider bringing your knees a little further back and taking yourself side to side. Three more breaths here. So that's really 6, right? Moving from side to side. I was never good at math, so don't be mad at me. Blame my math teacher. All right, so let's come on back into that table again. And then come down and sit down on your heels. And then walk your hands back. Let your fingertips just press into the earth. Let the shoulder blades relax down the back as you send the heart up. Maybe the chin lifts and the throat opens. You can notice any strain or stress. Where can you soften? Where can you effort a little bit more? Maybe you push through the legs. What does that do? Right, as you push through the shins, you engage the thighs, you feel more supported. Maybe you're not bottom heavy, if you will, right? And then maybe you're starting to feel a little bit more open and expansion in the chest. Nice, and then we're just gonna bring the hands forward again, slide them forward. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and curl the toes under. Make your way into a downward facing dog. I don't know about any of you, but I've been eating a lot of pretzels. I don't know how I got so many pretzels in the house, but I've eaten half of them. And they have a lot of carbs in them, and I don't care. Right, so right now I'm feeling though I could do something about it. I have more control over myself on the mat sometimes. So I'm going to bend the knees, bring the knees down towards the earth, and I'm going to hover here. I'm going to burn off a pretzel. I'm also going to burn off the guilt that I might have from that. Right, so hovering here, working big muscles here. And now come all the way down to the knees. see if you can stay here, uncurl your toes, and then float the knees over the earth. Michael and Linda are definitely not happy with me right now. All right, so come on back into that downward facing dog. Inhale, take the right leg to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose, float a bit into plank here, shifting the weight into the hands. Inhale, take it back up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. And we're on the fingerprints here. If you need blocks, you can use those. Maybe step your back foot out just a little bit wider. Think about the back of the body almost becoming more flush with the sky. And the back of the head's in line with the spine. Now we're going to swirl and pivot this back heel. Take it down. And then think about, we're going to come into warrior one. So think of warrior one feet. But try not to hop right up into that warrior one. You're going to kind of draw that right hip back. And already beginning to square the hips here as we're down. And then I want you to take the arms behind you. Push down through the feet as if you're separating, kind of like you're splitting the mat from the center. And let your, kind of almost like your pinkies want to reach towards each other. Lift that left inner thigh, kind of taking it back towards the back of the room. And then as you inhale, take the arms up. Now if you feel a little twinge in the lower back, rather than just draw that hip back, step your foot out, that back foot out. You can also heel toe your front foot out, right? But rather than trying to control this, let's just change the base. Change the foundation. Gentle lift in the belly. The elbows can be bent. They can also be down if you feel like your heart rate's going up a little bit too much for you. Take 3 more breaths here and see where you can just ground in a little bit more to the power of this warrior one, to be here presently, to choose this instead of thinking of 20 other things that you could be doing. Yeah, if you want to bring some dynamic movement to it with your arms, that's probably 3 breaths, right? So let's take the hands down. We're going to step it right back into a down dog. So if you feel like taking a half vinyasa, chaturanga to a cobra or up dog, feel free. Otherwise, coming back to that downward facing dog, connecting your breath with your body, noticing your thoughts. Inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee in towards that third eye. We'll float into a plank. And then inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step through. That left foot kind of inches up a little bit, already coming into that lunge. Up on the fingerprints. You can always step that right foot out, and you're establishing that base for warrior one here. So you're going to pivot the back foot, kind of swirl that heel back down, that right heel. Toes, think about maybe 45, 30-degree angle. And then maybe start to lift your hands away from the earth. And you're nice and long here. A little modified kind of thunderbolt here, or lightning bolt. And think about the left hip gently drawing back, the right hip gently drawing forward, drawing up that right hip, or that right inner thigh. And then inhale, come on up. And you're going to see maybe where you need to make some adjustments. Back leg, I feel like mine needs to come out a little bit more. Maybe I want to sink down just a little bit more into the front knee. Maybe I want to draw the belly in and upward a little bit to support my lower back, because mine is, it has a lot of wear and tear on it. It's a nice way to say it, right? Nice, and if you want to bring some movement here, maybe even bring your arms down, and then inhale them back up. And even though you feel like you're not quite moving the lower half of your body, you can push your feet into the earth, separating them, even drawing them together and pulling up that energy. There's all these little details in the practice of yoga, right, that we can really get into once we commit to being where we are. We can explore that place much more deeply. exhale, plant the hands. And we'll step it back. Top of your push-up. Again, you can lower down chaturanga, making sure those elbows stay nice and tight to the body, drawing the heart forward, either into that cobra or up dog. And then taking the hips back to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the gaze forward, come up on the toes, exhale, bend the knees, and then you can hop it up to the top of the mat, you can step it up. Inhale, come up halfway for length, long spine, relaxed shoulders. Exhale, folding in. And then on your inhale, let's rise to standing. Sweeping the arms up and over, palms meet. Exhale, hands thread to your heart. Release the hands down to the sides. And just take a moment here in mountain pose. Maybe separating the feet just a little bit more, about hip width apart. Maybe a gentle lift in the belly. Lifting the heart gently towards or upward towards the sky. Lengthen through the crown of the head and gently let the chin draw in towards the throat. The shoulders relax and the shoulder blades almost as if they were hands, kind of lifting your heart, pushing the back of your heart even more further open. Allow the tailbone to relax down to the earth. Let's take 5 more breaths here. And even though sometimes it feels as if we are not moving, notice the changes that can happen just in 3 more breaths here now. You might feel more present in your body by pushing through the feet, more grounded, more rooted. On your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold, empty out. Inhale, come up halfway for that length. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Arms up and over. Palms meet and exhale, hands thread to your heart center. And then relax them down to the side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Press the thighs forward, the heart up, and then exhale, forward fold, empty out. One more time. Inhale, come up for half, that halfway length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Push through the feet, rising up. Palms meeting. Exhale, emptying out. Hands slide down the sides of the body. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, empty out. Inhale, peek up a little bit. Heart up, and then exhale, plant the hands, step back to the top of your push-up. Now we're gonna float again a little side to side, so you can lower down to the knees, you pivot on the balls of the feet, lower that right hip. Inhale back through center, exhale, lower that left hip. We're gonna take this 4 more times. Knees are always an option here. Keeping strong in the obliques, the lower belly, right? Transverse abdominis. So it's really starting to create some heat here. Notice maybe even the challenge of the breath. Lower all the way down onto the belly, and then come back into that Sphinx pose. Elbows in line with shoulders. And then on your exhale, let's round in again. Navel to spine, chin towards chest. Inhale, unroll, let the head, the crown of the head lift. Exhale, rounding in, hugging in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round in. Let's come to neutral as you inhale. Lower the chest, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press back up into that downward facing dog, or always knowing you can pause maybe in table first if you need to. Child's pose is always there. The nice thing is, so is the stop button, the pause button, right? This is yoga on demand, whatever you want. Try and stick with it though. Exhale, cross it over to your left elbow. Inhale, take it back up. Cross it back over to that left elbow. Now, you can lower down, bring that right foot across, almost like you're threading it through. You can lower down that left knee, and you can open up into this fallen triangle with the knee on the earth, or you can pivot on the ball of the back foot and open up. Pushing through that right hand, opening up across the chest. Lower the hands, we'll take it back into that three-legged dog. And then exhale, step it through. Pivot on the back foot, inhale, warrior one. We're gonna open this out into warrior two, to the back of the room. So the back of your mat. There it is. Nice, now stay nice and low in the hips. Open that left palm. We're gonna reverse the warrior from here. So taking that left arm to the sky and really reaching the torso out of the hips. Sometimes we just jump in and we jump into that right hip. Think about lifting and lengthening. Your body will naturally arc. We'll take it to extended side angle from here, so forearm to the knee. And then taking that right hand to the hip, maybe just peel the shoulder open. And rather than taking the opportunity to, say, dump into that front knee, let's press through it and use that opposing force to open us. Right, to open the chest, to bring the left rib cage open. Strong back leg here, maybe the right arm's extended to the sky, maybe it's up and over the ear. We'll reverse it again from here, reaching up and over, or up rather than over. And then push through that right leg, straighten it out, or left leg, straightening it out. So a little variation of sky archer here. We'll tip the torso, coming to triangle pose. So if you need to step your feet, changing the base, coming just a little bit closer with the feet. Yeah, you'll see some people kind of plugging in the arm and opening across the chest, creating some alignment with the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder to help expand across the chest. Think about reaching the hips back and lengthening out through the spine. Head can be upward, and if it is looking up, chin a little closer to the chest. Right, just to bring that nice long neck, or neutral, or to the earth. Nice, we're going to start to lunge back into that front knee. Come right back up into that warrior two. Nice, we're going to come into a star here. So you're going to turn your left foot in. And so actually keep the toes turning outward. Let's take a few little inner thigh stretches here. We're going to bring the hands to the heart, and we're going to lunge into that right knee, maybe lifting the left toes from here. Inhale back through center, and then exhale, take it over to the other side, lifting those right toes. Let's take this a couple more times, side to side. Really thinking about reaching the seat way back and lengthening through the spine here, right up from your hips. You might want to start to get a little more playful. Maybe you start to bring yourself off your heel and you start to bring a little bit more movement. Isn't this from a movie? If I were a rich man, right? A little Russian dancing maybe. Nice. Now let's come to the center here. Settle in with the hands on the earth. Inhale, come up halfway for length. And then exhale, fold it in. Let the head relax towards the earth. Long neck, shoulders lift away. Inhale, bring the gaze upward, the chest upward a little bit. Again, walk to the back of the mat, plant your right hand, and then we'll open the left arm towards the sky. Softening down through the shoulders, nice strong back leg. As you exhale, take that right hand or that left hand down to the earth. We'll step it back, either to that down dog, or feel free to take it through that half vinyasa from here. Nice, when you find yourself there, back in that downward facing dog, inhale, left leg's gonna lift. Exhale, let's cross it over to that right elbow, touch it in. Inhale, sweep it back to the sky. Let's do that again. Exhale, touch it in. Again, you can lower down to the right knee and then extend that left leg out. Or pivot on the back foot. Lots of options. Sending the heart up, the hips up, pressing down through the feet, pressing down through the hand. And then as you exhale, right hand plants, left leg lifts. We'll step it on through, pivot on the back foot. Inhale takes you up into that warrior one. And then we'll open it out to warrior two to the back, or now to the front of the mat, back to the front of the mat. So come on around to the front, your other front. Take a few breaths here. And again, find some movement even in the stillness. We're going to reverse it from here. So let the inhale lift the arm, lift the chest. Let the exhale maybe sink you a little bit deeper, down through the hips, down through the feet. If you push through the feet, you'll get a little lift and length in the spine. Let's take it to extended side angle from here. So that forearm is going to come on down to the knee. And again, see if you can, rather than kind of dump into it, push into it, use it to open you up. Right, we're here, we might as well really be here. Breathing as smoothly as you can, maybe coming out just a little bit if it's too much. If your hand's on the ground, if you decided to go further, you can always change it. Nice, we're going to take this extended side angle, start to straighten that. Oh, actually, let's just reverse it. Reach it up and over first. A little more sweetness in that right thigh, and then push down through the leg. Feel that nice release here in the front of the body. Maybe catch hold of the wrist if you'd like to. And press down through your back heel, get taller. And we'll move into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Arms reach out, torso tips forward as the hips reach back. And the torso is going to spin open, becoming more parallel to the lobby here, as you all know. Our Namaste beauties out there. We're thinking of you. Nice, we're going to take this right back into that warrior two. This time bring your hands in front of your heart, pivot on your back foot, and let's step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Take a moment here just to get a little longer in your body. In fact, let's slide the hands underneath the feet, bringing the toes to the wrist creases. If that's possible for you, maybe just your fingertips are under there. But bend your knees a lot if you need to, even if it feels like you're in a bit of a squat.
just to allow yourself to see where you're at comfortably. And then maybe as you push through the feet into the hands, you can start to straighten the legs out, or even just a little bit. And then release the hands. We're going to work just a little bit into some balance here. So we're going to take ourselves down into chair pose. Just get nice and low here, and then bring your hands in front of your heart. I'll turn around here. And we're going to shift some of the weight now into the left foot, coming up onto the right heel, off the right heel. And then I just want you to cross the legs and just bring the toe down. And then you're going to take the right elbow underneath the left, and you're going to wrap the arms. Now if you'd like to, maybe sink just a little bit lower. And it's nice to have the toe on the earth. It's kind of like a kickstand on your bike when they actually had kickstands, because I don't think they make them like that anymore. So maybe bring the foot, take that kickstand off. This is a 2020 bike. And then see maybe if you can start to lift the elbows. And if you fall out of it, who cares? Just try it again. This is practice. Right, we're going to fall, so we better get used to it so we can get back up. Now for some of you, you might sink a little lower, and you might even decide to like fold it in, and that's just crazy because you risk falling. As we were kids, we would do anything to fall, right? So be willing to fall. When we're leaning towards that willingness, we probably won't. Nice, then we're going to release the legs, sit back down in that chair, release the arms, rising back up, straighten the legs. Nice, and then exhale, we'll forward fold here. And then you can shake the legs out a little bit, lift the toes, bring the hands to the hips, elbows to the sky, push through the feet, rise back up. Oh, Linda's doing something that's really fun. We're going to take that cue as a, let's open the hips. Right? Hula hoops are probably not going to happen in your house, but you don't need one. Who needs a hula hoop? And it never falls off. Mike's doing the sound effects. All right. All right, let's do some balance on the other side. So let's take it into chair again. So we'll sink down nice and easy into the seat, and then we'll just shift that weight into the right foot and lifting that left heel, and then take it over. There you go. Toe, just let it touch down the earth first. And then you can even sink down a little bit more when that toe's on the ground. Hug the thighs. Feel the hips hug towards each other. So it's kind of squeezing in here. And then you can take that left elbow underneath the right, wrapping the arms. And then maybe here you can start to lift the elbows a little bit, working the back of the body. And then maybe you can pick that foot up. If that completely screws everything up, right, that's okay. Set it back down. Tune into your breath here. We're playing, we're being present. We're in what we're doing, we're focused. And then maybe you fold it in as you exhale. Elbows towards the knees. Inhale takes you on up again. And then the exhale folds you in. Try that a couple more times. See how that works out. Maybe lift the toes, working those ankles and metatarsals. And then next time you fold in, just lower the feet, let them meet here. Inhale, unfurl the arms, rising up. Exhale, hands stretch to your heart. Let your hands come down along the sides. Step your feet a little wider. Again, if you want to move the hips a little bit, if you want to pick up the knees, kind of roll it out.
Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Nice easy bend in the knees. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of your push-up. You can take a last half vinyasa if you'd like to. And then come on down to your knees. Come on down into that child's pose again. Let the head rest on the earth. And then start to bring yourself back into that table wherever you are, seated or otherwise. We'll cross the ankles and then we'll bring ourselves down into our seat. Bringing the legs nice and long out in front of you. If you want to sit on a blanket, feel free to do that. And we're going to take this right knee in and hug it in towards the body. So tuck it in here, sitting up nice and tall. Root down through that extended leg, which is now your foundation. Nice, and then we're just gonna take the right hand to the knee and just kind of pull the in, just taking like right underneath the kneecap, and just kind of open the hip and let that drop down. So the sole of the foot is inside the inner thigh, and you can draw it up a little bit further. Take the left hip back a little bit and think about having both sit bones on the earth. If one hip is not touching, a blanket again is really good. Let the hands rest around that left thigh. Take an inhale, lifting through the chest. And then exhale, lengthening the heart towards the foot. See where it lands. Just gonna see here this first stop. And then take another inhale. And then exhale, drawing the lower abdominals and see if you can lengthen yourself just a little further forward. You know, quarter of an inch can be everything, right? So, and then maybe one more time, lifting the chest a little, letting that exhale draw you a little further forward, almost as if the sit bones are almost lifting up versus trying to ground in. That's going to relax the lower back just a little bit more. Inhale, start to walk the hands up, nice and easy. We're going to take this right hand right over the shoulder, place it behind the hip, push down through the right hand, press through the left or that right shin, and then we'll come into this nice back bend, opening up really both hip flexors here, relaxing the shoulder blades back, opening up the heart. Exhale, come and sit back down. Take your right hand to the outer edge of the knee, draw it in, pick up the foot, set the foot to the outer edge of the thigh. You can open the knee and just kind of, again, move your luggage around, right? To kind of bring yourself in. Our Diane Bondi luggage, I love that. Right, and then it's sitting up nice and tall, kind of hugging in. We have confusion in the studio right now, but we're going to make it.
A mirror.
Yeah, this is nice. Nice. Now you can take that right arm and plug it in, or whatever arm's the one that needs to be behind you, right? You can hook the elbow here or just keep the arm wrapped. Take an inhale, root down through the seat, root down through that extended leg, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then let the exhale draw the ribs back, the shoulder, and then the chin will just float over. Let the chin draw towards the throat. Nice long neck. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Exhale, we're going to take ourselves into a counter twist because it just feels good to do that. You can press the forearm into the inner bent knee there, because we all have different knees bent here. Keep your arm wrapped. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bring yourself forward. And then we're going to switch it out to the other side. We're going to take that right leg nice and long. You're going to hug that left knee in, or your opposing knee, whichever knee you didn't do yet. Hug it in. Let yourself sit up nice and tall here. And then take your hand that's closest to the knee, inside the knee, and just kind of draw the knee out. You're just kind of opening it up here. Getting the hip a little bit more open, safely, the knee, keeping the knee nice and safe. A block underneath your knee is a nice thing too, or a blanket. And then you can take that right hip slightly back, or the extended leg, take that hip back a little. Take an inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Lifting through the torso, let that exhale fold you in, naveling, drawing towards the spine. So you're creating more space under here, and you're thinking about, rather than rounding through the upper back, right, you want to lift up and out of the hips and take yourself over that leg, right, belly and all, right, so smoothing it out. Maybe the hand comes to the foot. This is also kind of a twist here too, right? So think about leveling out the torso by bringing the left side of the chest towards the foot. Inhale, start to walk your hands up nice and easy. And then you'll take whichever leg's extended, take the opposing arm out behind you. And then we'll press through the shin, press through the hand, lift up through the seat, and reach the arm up and over. Press the hips forward, lengthening through the spine, softening down through the shoulders. Come on down back to your seat. And then we're going to take that left foot, or whatever knee's bent, take it over the thigh, hug it in again, or maybe open the knee and just already begin to twist here and then close it back up, and you can kind of hug yourself in. Taking that arm back behind you in support. Again, here's another kickstand, right? Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, use that hand or elbow as leverage. Again, that opposing force to invite that twisting to open you up a little bit more towards the back of the room. And breathe. Notice if we're coming to closer to the end of the practice, if we can truly stay here and be here for just a few more minutes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unwinding. We're going to take ourselves right on down. Oh no, we're not. We're going to take a counter twist. Thanks, Michael. Twist it in. It's helpful to have a room full of teachers. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, unwinding. Bringing the feet down. And we're going to come right onto our back. So however you get there, you might just roll down. You might take some time to make your way down. You might kind of kayak it down. I've heard someone say sinking the boat. I don't know if that's a good term nowadays. Our boat's being sunk. It's not. Our sails are furled. Right, so now let's do something here. We're going to cross the right knee over the left and bend the knees in. And then pick up the feet. Take your hands to the outer edges of the feet, or maybe over the feet. And then we're going to work into the hips just a little bit more here. Press the feet into the hands down into the feet. And then you're going to draw the knees gently towards the front of the room. And creating these opposing forces are going to create some harmony in your body. So while you're efforting in the hip department and lifting and pushing and all of that, see where you can relax as well. Softening the jaw, the shoulders, tension points, right? The space between the brow. Nice. Now let's keep those legs wrapped. Bring your arms so that they now meet your hands, and then cross your right elbow underneath your left elbow. And then this time, let's see if these eagle crunches are a little bit easier here. Just see how we did that? All of a sudden we're back in it. So let's inhale, extend the legs towards the front of the mat, the arms towards the back of the mat, and then exhale, curl everything in. Elbows draw in towards the knees. Inhale, lengthen back out, reaching through the legs, reaching through the arms. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lengthen back out. 2 more. Nice, hug it in. And then release the arms, release the legs. Plant the feet, knees bent, arms down along the sides of the body. Bend the elbows, palms facing each other. Kind of robot arms here. Push through the feet. Roll the hips up towards the sky. Come on up into bridge pose. You can take this as high, as far, as deep as you need, or even more as restorative as you need. 3 more breaths here. Opening up the front of the body. Exhale, lower the spine nice and easy all the way down to the sacrum. And then we'll cross that left knee over the right. Pick up the feet. Bring the hands either to the outer edge of the feet, over the feet, or under the feet. And again, we're kind of pressing the feet down, or the hands down into the feet up into the hands, the knees drawing forward. So again, using those opposing forces to work for you. Smoothing out the breath, working into the hips, releasing the hands, keep the knees crossed, wrap the legs, and then take that left elbow underneath the right. And then inhale, lengthen the arms in one direction and the legs in the opposite direction. And then exhale, bring everything together towards center. Inhale, lengthen out nice and long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. 2 more. Release the arms, release the legs, arms come down to the sides, palms open, feet hip width apart behind the sit bones. Find that bridge pose, pressing through the feet, roll the hips up, maybe walk the shoulders underneath the heart. Again, any variation of bridge that you would like to take. 4 more breaths here. Making your way down when you're ready. Stretch the arms up and over the head and just take a nice long body stretch. Keeping it real simple. Reach to the right side of your body, the arm, the leg. Keep nice and long on that side, and then you can switch it to the other side. We're going to draw the knees in once again, and then extend the legs towards the sky, coming into an inversion. Anything you want to do here. Maybe you want to take a pillow or a block underneath your hips. If you want to come into shoulder stand and that's part of your practice, feel free to go there. Anything that's calling to you. Let's just take those, I don't know, maybe just another 60 seconds, which isn't a whole lot of time. But sometimes in the yoga case, when we're in a place where we're becoming still, time just seems to stand still. There is no time. Other times it's when is this going to be over? And a minute lasts forever. Such as in life, but how we handle it is what matters. Really being present with where we are. Tuning out all the other noise that can come up in life. And really focusing on whatever it is that you're doing. Yoga, a conversation, eventually bringing yourself all the way down. If you want to take that counter pose of fish, if you were in that shoulder stand feeling free, or flip on the belly for Sphinx. So we're going to take one more twist here. So you can bring the right knee over the left knee if you'd like to, and wrap the legs for this twist over to the right. Or you can just keep the knees floating over each other. So we'll take it over to the right, knees float on over, feet can be separated and just let the knees come over. Lots of options here for the body. Again, just doing what it feels right for you. Inhale, bring the knees back through center. And then exhale, make your way over in the opposite direction. Breath getting shorter, inhalations, smaller exhalations, just letting the breath breathe itself, breathe the body. Letting the energy just become more restful, more restorative. And inhale, bring the knees back through center. And let the feet come down to the earth, side by side, and let the soles of the feet touch. Let the knees butterfly out, letting the soles of the feet kiss. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, and just tune in to the rise and fall of your breath. Maybe gently lift your head and draw the chin towards the throat a little bit, just to bring some length to the neck. Tune into the breath. Getting smaller and smaller. The body getting heavier and heavier. More relaxed. And when you feel ready, you can bring your arms out to the sides, or keep them there the rest of the time if you feel it feels good. Legs can extend, or even stay where they are. But once you choose that, see if you can just really be there. Giving in to where you are, surrendering to this moment fully. Nice deep breath in, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Anything else? Taking rest in Shavasana. would like to remain here in Shavasana, feeling free to do that. Otherwise, start to bring some awareness back to your body, back to your breath, back to yourself in this room, whatever room you're in. Moving the fingertips and the toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe turning the head gently from side to side. Stretching the arms up and over the head, getting nice and long. Take that nice deep breath in, filling up. Exhale, let it go. Hugging the knees in towards you, into the chest. Wrapping your arms around your knees and bring your head up towards your knees and round in. We'll come over onto whatever side suits you, letting your head rest on your arm. Beginning again from here.